Hello, hello. How are you guys? Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but my skin is not delightful. And as long as you have LimeLight, what a sight, what a sight, what a sight. I'm not a professional singer, people. I know I have to keep my day job. Anyway, I just wanted to come to you. I had some questions about our foundation and our skin in this cold and dry weather. My skin is sucking up moisture like crazy, and I haven't put any skincare on my face yet. I just got out of the shower, and it's driving me crazy. It's so dry. So I'll take you through my skincare when for mature skin or more on the dry side. I start with Sotox, and this is like your first base. It's a serum, basically. And it lightens, brightens, and tightens, but it is not enough to moisturize because it does hydrate, but you still need moisturizer. But this is what helps firm up all those fine wrinkles and do some lifting, and it brightens up your face, takes away, helps with age spots and stuff like that. So I'm just getting it on my scar because it does help with scar reduction, especially when mixed with One Drop Wonder. Now, we do have a great package with Sotox and One Drop Wonder alone. So you can look into that, and if you have questions, let me know. I always use One Drop Wonder twice a day, but now I'm adding Must Do, one of our oils. So after my Sotox, I do my moisturizer. This is Ultra Moisturizing Skin Therapist. It's got pomegranate and oat, and it is for the drier skin. And this is perfect for this time of year. So usually I do 2 to 3 pumps, but because it's so dry out, I did 3 pumps. You really want to almost over moisturize your skin. So your foundation will look flawless, and you won't have any kind of like scaliness or flakiness. So make sure you are almost over hydrating your skin. Now, I could probably put more on here if I wasn't using my One Drop Wonder next. Our One Drop Wonder is a booster. It is one ingredient, Pomifera oil. It is teeny tiny. I'll show it to you. And it helps with so many different things. It helps with burn, with eczema, with rosacea, with itching, with scars. Of course, it helps with fine lines. It's one ingredient, Pomifera oil. You have to check it out. It's absolutely incredible. I have used it for a little over a year now, twice a day, and it's really helped my skin. I mean, I feel like it's really made a difference in my skin. So because it's a booster, what it does is it's got very the low, because of the molecular structure, they're smaller, low molecular structure, little molecules. They absorb into your skin very quickly. So therefore, anything you put underneath it gets pushed in very quickly. So that's why this is really nice. Hi, Michelle. So show you, it's a small bottle, and now it is glass. They have to use glass so that the oil doesn't, I think, do anything to the plastic if they use plastic. So I always keep it in its box because this is so easy to tip over and break. It's fragile. But see how little this is? So I just depress this. Now I like to use a whole dropper full. You can literally use 1, 2, or 3 drops. But, so I kind of just depress it and use a whole dropper full. It's kind of hard to see. And it spreads really nicely. I don't even think I use enough, you guys. I'm going to use more. This little bottle, as much as I use it twice a day with a whole dropper full, it lasts me, it's about 2 months. Most people who use 1 or 2 drops, it lasts 3 months. So it really is worth your while to look into it. And then I use it, of course, on my scar, because Pomifera oil really helps with scar reduction. It heals things faster. It's quite incredible. It's got antioxidants, it's antifungal, it's antibacterial, it's UV protective. It does so many wonderful things, and we keep discovering more and more things that it helps with. So our Todd Johnson, who discovered this and came up with this, has just done so much research and is so pleased with all the different outcomes of this. So there, that's my One Drop Wonder. That's my normal skin regimen. Now that it's drier, we also have another oil called Must Do, as in must and D-E-W, as in the dew outside, a little pun. So this has got some essential oils in it. So if you have any kind of allergy to essential oils, this might not be for you. I would test it on your arm first. If you want samples of anything, let me know. But because it is so dry out now, I noticed yesterday that my foundation was not going on as nicely as it has been in the past. And I'm also going to prep my lips while I'm talking before I put my foundation. So I exfoliate once a week. In the winter, I can up that to 3 times a week. I love our skin polish for that. And I usually wash my face with our very gentle cleanser, Quench Cleanse. And remember, these are natural, no harsh chemicals. And then I do the skin polish, and it's got jojoba beads in it. It smells like lemons. It's just heaven. And it's really soft, and it leaves your skin baby soft. 10-15 minutes like a mask. You leave it on, and then you wash it and rinse it off. You don't have to wash your face on again. But it really makes a difference, especially in these months. I highly recommend exfoliating. So that's my skincare. Now, there's many different ways you can use Must Do in your regimen. Some people use Must Do in the morning and One Drop Wonder at night. Some people only use Must Do. Some people use it twice a day. Some people just use it mixing it with their foundation. So this is my Z palette because I use 4 different colors of concealers just because I have issues. But this is my foundation. It happens to be called Shinto 1. And what you can do, it's wax-based. So our concealers and our foundation is wax-based. It's botanical, all natural, fabulous, fabulous ingredients, and it is one of the top recommended foundations by makeup artists out there. It's made by RCMA, or Research Council of Makeup Artists, and people fall in love when they try this. Our concealers are waterproof. So, hi Kristen. So those you don't have to worry about. That's why people use them a lot during weddings and everything. But so there's several different ways you can use your foundation and make it spread easier, especially on drier skin. So what you can do is you can take like the back of any of your brushes, like you know, a smaller brush like this, and you can just take a little out and you can put it here and you can rub it, and you can squirt a little bit of Must Do right on there and rub it together before you dot your face, and then spread it with whatever way you like to put on your foundation. Or, hi Kristen, or you can put this Must Do on right before you put your foundation and put a lot on, and then get your foundation and use whatever tricks that you like, whatever tools you like. I have many different tools. I've showed you guys before in different videos, and I can always help you with different tricks and tips of how to put on your foundation so it spreads evenly. Me, I usually use the closest thing to me. It depends on it depends on my mood. So sometimes I'll use, you know, like the buffer brush. Sometimes I'll use our awesome Blenderful. Sometimes I'll use our classic foundation brush. Sometimes I'll do a dry brush technique. So it just depends. But so make sure your moisturizer and all your skincare has time to soak in. And if you mix your foundation on the back of your hand and put a little bit of Must Do on there, and then want to apply, I would recommend dotting your face first and then putting it on any which way. That gives you a lighter application. I like a medium or heavier coverage. That's just me. That's my preference. So it's whatever. It almost makes it into like a beauty cream, like a what do they call those things? You know what I'm talking about. Those when you mix foundation and moisturizer together. There are some people that use our moisturizer with they use their foundation with moisturizer, and you can mix it and do it the same way like I explained the Must Do, and then that just thins it out and helps it spread a little easier. So it's whatever your preference. Now, because this is my personal palette, when you have your personal palette at home, you can put your finger right in and warm it that way and dot. Like I said, you can take a little bit out, put it in the back of your hand, and then put Must Do. So I'm going to put a little Must Do on now, and I'm just going to apply it right to my face the same way. And this I only do for myself in the drier months. It smells really good, you guys. It smells like a spa. It's a very pleasurable experience, let me tell you. So never put anything on your eyelids, you guys. Much too thin. The skin is much too thin there. All right, so there we go. So I'm going to take my finger, just wiping it off a little bit here on my towel, and I'm going to warm this up because it's wax-based. It spreads much better when it's warmed. So the heat of your finger, and then if you let it sit on your face for a little bit, I'm going to dot it. Can you see that? There's direct sunlight coming in. I have no external lights. Okay, I think you can see that good enough. So hopefully this will spread better for me and not give me any kind of scaliness or dry patches like it did yesterday, because I did not use extra moisturizer or any must do yesterday. And the weather has changed. Make sure you always bring your foundation down. All right, what should I use today? I think I'll use the buffer brush today. This can give a lighter application too. But hold it far away and give it a light touch and really just swirl. So now that those dots I put on my skin, they've had a little time to warm because of the temperature of my skin. And so it's really spreading quite nicely right now. And then if you need more, you can dip your brush right back into it. However you want to do it. But I find when you have it in contact with your skin, our foundation or concealers first, it gives it a little extra time to warm up. So play around, find what works for you, and different times a year, and even different, like depending on how much time you have to get ready, you might, change it up. So it's whatever works for you. You have to kind of play around and find out what way you like the best. So this is spreading really nicely since I put that must do on first. Normally I do my eyes first, you guys, but for this purpose of this, I'm showing you. Now, I have some redness, so I mix in some concealer. So I'm going to use concealer number 1, which has got a little greenish cast to it. I put that right in there, and I'm going to very lightly just kind of cover up some of my redness here. And our concealers, I always recommend you get 1 foundation and 2 concealers. And we're going to get a lot more colors of foundation, you guys. That's very exciting. I can help color match you. But the concealers are waterproof, and they have a heavier coverage. So it's nice to mix with your foundation or just put it where you need it. I always like to do foundation first because it covers a lot and then you need less concealer. There are some people who like to do their concealers first. And concealers are nice to spread just with your finger if you don't have your foundation on yet. There we go. Covering up some redness. There we go. And then I'm going to put, because this is my personal palette, I'm going to put my finger right on in to, I'm mixing concealer 1 and 2 for me. A little brightening, a little darkening, and I'm going to conceal these bags and cover up these darker circles here. But see, like I'm warming it up and it spreads super easily. Now granted, the sun is now shining in my bedroom, but in the morning it is deathly cold in here. And my concealers and foundation can be really hard. So it definitely is important to warm it up. And then they spread wonderfully. I'm just gonna dot it a little bit here. And if you want to use your fingers to put on your foundation, hey, have at it. It's whatever works for you. There's no right or wrong way. And then, as you know, our concealers double as eyeshadow primer. Just a little bit goes a long way of everything, you guys. It's 50% pigment. You are not used to this, trust me. Everybody makes the mistake of using too much at one time. This stuff, you need very little. The pigment is so high. That's why our foundations last so long. They can last you anywhere from 3 to 6 months, that little pan. So make sure, there. Now your eyeshadow has something to like stick to. And then I like to cover up my scar. This is concealer number 1. It hides the redness because it's got a greenish cast. And then I put on my flesh colored concealer over it. And I like to pat it on. And then you want to always set your concealers with powder. And I like to do my blush first. That's just me. I have a dry skin patch right there. There. So that spread really nicely for me today. There we go. That's better. So when you hold your brush farther away, it gives you a much lighter touch, and that's what you want. You don't want this brush to be like all fanned out like that. You want a very light touch and big swirling motions. Or you can use our Blenderful. Pretend it's damp. It's not, it's dry. And you can stipple or press in like that. These are different ways you can apply. Or you can use our dry brush. This is a powder brush. You dip this right into your foundation. I kind of sometimes hold it a little tight like that, and then you swirl it, swirl it, swirl it. That gives you a really fast application. Or you can use your traditional foundation brush. After you dot your face, then you're going to bring it down, 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 pat, 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 bring it down, and then here you're going to spread it like that. So if you need help with how to apply it, but that's how to make your foundation a little bit more creamy, better for the dry, cold winter months, and it spreads much easier, and then it won't look too heavy. It won't cake. It shouldn't have any kind of dimpling or patchiness or scaliness. If it does, you probably need to exfoliate and you need to hydrate more. Like I said, you guys need to hydrate a lot more than you think. You need so much more moisturizer than you think. You rather use more than less. And then I like to do my eyes first. So let's say you put on your skincare, you let your skincare soak in. Then you work on your eyes. And then it's time to go do your foundation. If you still have excess moisture from all the moisturizer you put on, just take a Kleenex or something and just blot it. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps you guys that have a little issues now. It's normal. It's normal, expected with our foundation. You just have to kind of know how to play with it and what works best for you. So I hope that helps. So try just taking a teeny chunk out, not with that, with this, a teeny chunk out, like just a little teeny chunk, putting it on the back of your hand, and then taking a little half squirt or full squirt of our Must Do oil, and then you rub it, rub it, rub it, rub it, and that makes it a little thinner and really easy to spread. And that is a lighter coverage. So let me know what works for you. If you have any further questions or you need tips and tricks with something specific, please let me know. This is Ranya Phillips with LimeLight by Alcone. Have a wonderful Sunday, you guys. Take care. Enjoy the fall weather. Bye. Be good.